boy, let's do this. Nightly, first thing first. The name is the LUI. Secondly, the game is the game of bodybuilding, or rather Mr. Olympia, more or less 2 weeks out. The subject, yet again, forcefully so, Kevin Levrone, and specifically this picture in the sense that started all this merely 24 hours ago. So there's a big debate that is still ongoing right now, and there seemed to be a semblant, something that resembles an answer from Kevin Levrone himself. So I'm going to share that with you guys. So this was the picture that started the whole, it was a mess actually, and I was right into it. A lot of us were right into it, and it was followed by this one right here, the same day, released the same day. A lot of speculation. I was boggled right now. This morning, our friend from RX Muscle, who published this, Mr. Dave Palumbo, said that supposedly Kevin told him that these two pictures were from the same day, meaning this was in the morning and then he ate a cheat meal and then boom, he became like this, right? Quite amazing of a feat if it happened. In the same video, Dave Palumbo said that Jerry Ward, our friend from BioS 3 Raw TV, he said the opposite. He said that this picture dates from weeks ago. So it's an old picture that has nothing to do with this bigger, more impressive front, most muscular pose, right? And supposedly he spoke to Kevin Levrone. I do know for a fact that he is his friend. Hell, Kevin used to train Jerry Ward, right? So two different informations, and what's his name again? Dave Palumbo says no. Kevin told him that both are from the same day. It is absolutely mind-boggling. For me, it was hard to believe because the evolution is rather startling. I mean, the tricep sweep, he looks just bigger. In this one, it is a believable 251, whereas this one is rather different in a sense, right? Anyway, that is a semblant of an answer that has been somehow given. I mean, you be the judge. Tell me if Kevin Levrone is answering or is he playing some chess game, as he says. Was it done on purpose? Did he use us, me, Dave Palumbo, and Jerry Ward to confuse the whole social media realm? You know what? I think so. I think he just did that. Let's take a listen at Mr. Bob Ciccirillo. By the way, Bob Ciccirillo was with him in the NPC, I think it was in 1991, right? So from the same generation. He'll be hosting, as usual, Mr. Olympia. So let's take a listen to that interview. It is kind of lengthy, but this portion discusses the precise photos.
Did you see that post up, that picture I posted up in the gym?
I was just getting to that now. So,
in the gym, in the tank top.
I see two pictures. I saw
the one picture, in the gym in the tank top.
I saw one from you, which is pretty impressive. You're doing kind of your hands-on, most muscular.
What was I doing? Yeah, today at the gym.
Now, I got to ask you this now. So I saw that picture, and it's
and
decently impressive.
Go ahead.
The other pictures I saw online of the back poses, are those new? Where did they come from?
You can't pay attention to those.
Well, everybody's paying attention to them because, but the main.
See, he says you can't pay attention to those, and as per Dave Palumbo, I mean, Kevin sent him that picture yesterday morning. I told him, bro, publish it, and the date next to it, as Bob Chick will mention, was September 1st, 2016. So I thought, and a lot of you guys also thought, that it was from yesterday, pretty much, right?
The question is when were those taken?
You have to pay attention to what I post.
When were those pictures?
There you go. So you have to pay attention to exactly what Kevin Levrone posts. And to be honest, that picture was not posted by him. It was posted by RX Muscle.
Pictures taken.
What ones?
Not the ones that you did with the back poses. You're doing a back double bicep shot in particular. It was posted on a different site. Was purported to be put out today, as of September 1.
I'm not even going to respond to that material.
Wow.
Well, you can at least tell me if it's fresh or not. Is that a recent picture or not? I mean, I got to be honest.
Bob, you're good. You're good. I'm not responding to that material.
Come on, bro. You're killing me over here, man. Listen,
Come on now.
they're two different worlds, okay? Anybody amateur can see. The back shots are okay.
Okay, so Bob Chick knows a thing or two, right? He just said that they're from two different worlds every amateur can see, right? He would say that the back picture looks absolutely small, and the other one is just more impressive. So even today, quite honestly, I find it hard to believe that these two pictures are a few hours apart. Just mind-boggling if it is the case.
Hey, I gotta be honest. The shot you posted is night and day.
Night and day.
Of course.
So there's no way that that back
It's
pose
supposed
is
to be
recent.
like that, Bob.
It's supposed to be like that.
Come on, baby.
You're still fun, man. I tell
It's
you.
all here.
It's all there. Are you just messing with your competitors? Because listen,
We're playing chess. Don't you know how to play chess?
you know me as well, my friend. You know me as well.
Yeah, I know you.
So
Hey,
what's,
you're the Masters Mr. Olympia champion.
Okay, so let's stop it right there, right? As far as I read it, and tell me what you guys think, I think that Kevin Levrone is indeed playing some chess mind games with the competitors via social media, right? I mean, he knows that if he sends a picture to whatever, Dave Palumbo, whatever, and it will be spread out, it will create a wave of a shot, and then he comes up with a totally different picture that is absolutely different. To be noted, he posted actually a few weeks ago pictures from the front which were actually taken with the same background. So a lot of people were thrown out and said probably it comes from that period. And to be honest with you guys, he did not answer rather directly, but it's up to you. Tell me what you guys think. Is he playing mind games with his competition? Nonetheless, this picture right here is the talk of the day. And quite truthfully, to be honest with you guys, as you guys know, on record, I tried to speculate about the top 10, and I did not have him in the top 10. I mean, quite frankly, I said, listen, he is Kevin Levrone. We know that he used to train just a few months prior to Mr. Olympia back in the day, and he can transform literally. But quite frankly, I'm being honest with you guys, honest to God and on record, I was not expecting this, right? I have to confess, absolutely. So, was I surprised yesterday by this picture? Freaking absolutely. What I think right now, this is my own belief, right? That the back that he has right now is not this one. By no means. This is a back of probably 2 months ago, right? It cannot match the front of this thing. I mean, he is massive from the back. He cannot be small as in this picture. Absolutely not. It is just my belief. Am I wrong? Am I right? You tell me, guys. Nonetheless, as I said, this picture basically is a game changer. As a matter of fact, I've made 2 top 10 prediction videos, and even with the other guys, even the Dexter Jackson is messing up my placing. The Dallas McCarver with his latest picks, and I've just seen picks of Big Ramy, so it's all shuffled already, and Kevin Levrone messed it up seriously. So let me geek out about the past, because this is pretty much a blast from the past. He resembles his persona of old, in a sense, right? Let me go back to several versions of Kevin Levrone, or Kevin Levrone's in a sense, because throughout his 11 years of competition, he changed tremendously, and a lot of body parts were totally different. So he was second 4 times, 92, 95, 2000, and 2002. And believe me, in these 4 years, he was totally different. This was the first year. He was the smallest ever. It was in Helsinki. He placed second to Dorian Yates. The pictures were not loyal back then. I mean, HD not even once. By the way, this is the comparison of the picture that was released yesterday versus several other pictures of different years. I think this was 97, 96, and this is absolutely, I have no clue. But anyway, they all look quite similar. Granted, he's not as granity as of yet, but then again, it's not D-Day, right? He still has 2 weeks and a half to basically mold that up. So let's stay with 92. right? Obviously, he will not come this small this year, by no means. This was in the Night of Champions that he won. It is a competition that no longer exists. Back in the day, the Night of Champions was ranked number 3 after the Arnold Classic and Mr. Olympia. He's next to Mr. Porter Cottrell. This guy was a fireman, if I do recall, and he was his training partner, right? So that was the win in 92. And then he proceeded to go to Mr. Olympia, where he placed a very close second to this upcoming guy from Britain, Dorian Yates. You can notice that his biceps was still intact. So he was doing the poses differently. He was not as saturated as the basically the following years. He had basically the sunken face. Again, this is next to Porter Cottrell and the Prince, the Black Prince, Robbie Robinson, the craziest peaks back then. You will see, please remember this front lat spread, because I'm going to show you another one that will be rather more impressive in a different year. Okay, remember this one, right? There we go. Quite a different kind of frame back then. I mean, it was absolutely diced, feathers everywhere. This was the lat spread from the same year as well. His legs were absolutely amazing. The sway was impressive. We will switch now to 95. He gained mass again. He placed second to Dorian Yates. This gentleman right here, I think he was number 4 actually. Sean Ray was number 4. Number 3 was may he rest in peace, Nasser El Somebody. Who do we have in the back? We have Chris Cormier. We have Mike Francois. I always forget that this is Darren Charles, isn't it? Darren Charles, I think. And this guy is absolutely unknown. Aware me if you recognize him, guy. All right, so let's proceed. Now, from the back, of course, he is next to, in my opinion, the best back ever, in that of Dorian Yates. Nonetheless, his back was still good back then. It was way better than 92. As a matter of fact, I prefer his back in 95 and 96 in the Arnold Classic, right? This back, if he comes in like this year, and I said an if, so if he brings the exact same back as this one here, it is enough to box with guys in the same level as Rory Winkler, even Cedric McMillan, Victor Martinez, who will be up there, and perhaps even mess around with Sean Roden. Sean Roden is big, but his back details are not as crazy as those of Dexter Jack and Phil Heath. This is my presumption right now. But remember that if, right? If this back will be replicated, because then again, Kevin is full of surprises and full of versions, believe me. There are Kevins, not only one Kevin, right? Same year, absolutely amazing. I think it was the sweet spot, the right mass with aesthetics, right? Photo is small, but it gives you a perception of that back. It was still a good back. It's just a genuine back. Again, of course, next to Dorian Yates, everybody fades, just like Sean Ray is fading, because it is the best back ever. But that of Kevin Levrone was a good back. By the confession of Dorian Yates, he spoke on Flex magazine back then. He said the back that Kevin brought in 95 was frightening. Why did he specify 95? Because even back then, you never know how Kevin is going to come. Kevin was not training for a good part of the year, and then he goes into the gym and he transforms into something different sometimes, right? Proceed, shall we? The midsection was even better than Dorian Yates. It was absolutely small. I think it was just the right size, way bigger than 92, but not overdone. It was not busy. There was not an overkill overlook. Again, from the back lat spread. Should I remind you? Let's go through the guys actually to see who's on the back. So Sonny Schmidt, may he rest in peace. I think this guy here is Quadzilla, right? Mr. Paul DiMaio, may he rest in peace as well. They call him Quadzilla because his quads were absolutely outstanding, but the upper body had some crazy features as well. specifically the triceps. It was absolutely outstanding. He was not qualified, as far as I recall, in this Miss Olympia. Back then, they had a section called Invitational. So they invited people every once in a while. And in 95, they invited him. And in 96, they invited another big guy, Jean-Pierre Fuchs, right? Anyway, we have Mike Francois. Mike Francois, in this year, he won actually the Night of Champions, if I do recall. No, sorry, it was in 94. 94, he won the Night of Champion in front of Nasser El Sambati. Absolutely amazing. He comes from a powerlifting background, crazy legs development. Chris Cormier, Sean Ray. The guy in the back I absolutely do not recognize. Maybe it's Claude Groul. And this guy, I don't see it. Anyway, proceed, shall we? Again, from the back, you're facing Dorian freaking Yates, right? A lot of people say it's between him and Ronnie Coleman for the best backs ever. It doesn't matter. The back is Dorian Yates, right? So do not expect to beat him in the last spread. He will beat Phil Heath any year, any time of the day from the back, right? But Kevin back was a solid back to win this year. It was just proper. You put this back right now, this last spread, with a big if he brings it next to Rolly Winkler, we have a show, right? I think he will beat Rolly Winkler with this proper condition. Even the glutes and the hamstring are enough good at that level. We're talking about here, as far as I see it, and again, don't take my word as a prophecy, I'm talking about 4, 5, 6, this kind of spots, which is just murky right now, and it will be already a big achievement. Now remember, I'm talking about a guy that I did not even see in the top 10. I was not even expecting. I was thinking it's not humanly doable, right? But that picture is a game changer. After all, damn, we saw that picture. So it is actually mind-boggling. It is a total shocker. And I guess right now, I'm almost confident he did it on purpose. And freaking we applaud that. As a matter of fact, I should open up a can right now to salute that, because it was done properly. He is the talk of the hour on Twitter. Kevin Levrone is trending over any other athlete by a long shot. So for that, we need to applaud. Right? Proceed, shall we? In the same year, again, pretty much the same pose he has done. It is the trademark most muscular pose. He gets it better than Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates was doing only this one. He was not very good in the crab pose. Now, to be noted, the arms of Dorian Yates were not his biggest asset. And in this pose, he loses next to Kevin Levrone. And back, then again, everybody was losing in the most muscular pose. Debatably, Nasser El Sambati, who had a crazy crab pose, can hold his own next to Dorian Yates. Next to Kevin Levrone. Nonetheless, he placed third this year. Kevin Levrone was a take-home pose. It was 3D. As his friend Chris Cormier was saying, it comes at you. It was just coming at you, right? I think this back was from the same year, right? Not clear, but you can see what I'm talking about. This back absolutely pushes the Rolly Winklers of this world. Even Big Grammy, especially in the lower section, and Big Grammy is not known to have a lower back development, right? I think it's the same year. Photos are scarce, but that's what's up. You see what I'm talking about. The glute and the hamstring development were good, right? Now we switch to a different year. I think this comes from 2000, if I'm not mistaken. Again, as I said, there are Kevin Levrones, different years, different eras. Now this is 2000, almost sure you can see here, it's 2000 Ironman. He became bigger, especially in the arms. If you notice, they just basically took their independence. But then again, he was doing battle versus Ronnie Coleman, who was a different level in a mass game. He was even bigger than Dorian Yates, and this was the version we wind up with, right? So the arms became overly grown in a sense. Another back. In my opinion, this back is not as good as the 95 and the 96 era in a sense, right? Again, this was in 2000 versus Ronnie Coleman. So again, as I mentioned, Ronnie Coleman debatably number one or number two. It's always between him and Dorian Yates. Do not expect anybody to win in the back versus these two guys. It was the case for Kevin Levrone. I have no idea where this picture is from, but it's absolutely above the year 2000 because he was admittedly bigger, huge, right? Oh, let's go back. Alright, this was 96 Arnold Classic that he won, obviously, versus Flex Wheeler back then. I told you to remember the front lat spread I showed you in the beginning in the year 92, right? This was 4 years later. Of course, he got bigger everywhere, but specifically the lat spread. This lat spread is just amazing. It is amazing. In my opinion, it is his best ever. Better than that of the year 2000 and even the year 2002. His back was also loyal.